only donated $150 to the Mr. Beast water charity. People are also calling out for not even finishing those buildings or schools or whatever in Africa he plans on doing.
Y'all wanna do a tournament? Cause I think that'll be fire, bro. Like if y'all play each other.
Echo? Who's echoing?
God, gosh, it might be me. Wait, is it better now?
So go to your account, go to social, and then go to invite friends. That's a yellow button. Click that, and then you copy that.
Anybody in the chat room? Anybody? Oh, choose the player name. He's single. Anybody in the chat room? Your bar.
So
because of the chat. Anybody single in the chat?
Chat. I don't even know if this is gonna happen. Bro. I don't even know if I single word I've said it.
Listen, spam one about your
Can you guys hear me?
I got heat tough. I got heat baked up that. I got heat that.
Kai's doing an IRL?
What the f this?
It's all right, chat. I'm gonna go to the gym, bro. I don't even know what's going on. All right, I'm gonna see y'all boys, bro. I tried to set up a tourney. I don't know.
Cenat is back in the hot seat again, and at this point, it's wild how every week he somehow finds himself in a brand new mess. Whether it's the drama with Jinxie, skipping out on Mr. Beast's clean water campaign, or those so-called Nigerian schools he hyped up that never showed, people are starting to wonder what's really going on with him. The receipts are all over the internet. Screenshots, dates, full timelines. Yen.
We're on a mission to get 2 million people all around the world clean water. This village in Malawi now has clean water, impacting over 1,000 people.
They're raising serious questions that Kai just keeps dodging. He's still staying silent on everything. This whole situation started with what was supposed to be a big hype Clash Royale tournament, a project Jinxie came up with that could have been a smooth win for everybody.
Laggy sound. Spam 2 is good. What the f is this? Now chat, what is this right here, bro? It's a static. What's this? Bro, it's
All right, chat. I'm gonna go to the gym, bro. I don't even know what's going on. All right, I'm gonna see y'all boys, bro. I tried to set up a tourney. I don't know. I'm gonna see y'all boys tomorrow. All right, bro. Peace out. Have a good night. Love you.
Jinxie showed up with a solid plan, a collab idea with AMP, and real excitement behind it. But the second he sat down with the team to break it all down, things went left fast. Jinxie got treated like background noise, completely ignored like his mic wasn't even on. It was awkward to watch, like an NPC trying to start a side quest while the main characters walk right past him. And here's the crazy part, that wasn't even the worst of it. Out of nowhere, Kai just gets up mid-call, no warning, and walks off to start an IRL stream as if nothing was happening.
What am I doing? Why does it have Kai? No, tell Jinxie. Matter of fact, no. Okay, yeah. I'm going to Jinxie, bro. Tell Jinxie has something playing IRL, but I'm about to do a one-on-one. Tell Jinxie I'll do the one-on-one with him. I'm not doing it. I didn't want to do the IRL. I ain't gonna lie. I told him not to do IRL. Tell Jinxie I didn't want to do it. I'm not doing IRL. I'm not. No. I don't have to. Chat, listen. No, tell him come back on. He got off for real? Jinxie ended for real? Oh, God. Whoa.
No apology, no quick heads up, just straight disrespect. Even Kai's own chat started roasting him, flooding the stream with L's and calling him out for acting cold toward Jinxie. Meanwhile, Jinxie, trying to keep it cool, just said he was heading to the gym. But you could tell he was done with it. He got completely brushed off during his own project in front of thousands of people watching live. And honestly, who could blame him for leaving before things got even more humiliating? It probably felt like the only move he had left.
Bad now because the literally was waiting all day and posted a flyer and all types of shit. You saying who gives a f, bro? It's not about who gives a f. It's about the nigga time. It's a stream. You feel me? I don't know. I'm still gonna do it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing it. It might not be on my stream, but I'm doing it. I'm still doing it. So, dedicate a day to now think it. So I'm thinking, bro, y'all just messed up with Jinxie, yo.
You said what?
I just messed up Jinxie.
How?
Because he was ready for us. I didn't want to do the IRL shit, but he just ended. Like, we were supposed to play with him.
I ain't lying. Who said that? Like, I don't know how I was supposed to know that because we were supposed to do this game.
Bro, we had to communicate with him, bro. He literally was ready.
Once that clip hit the timeline, the backlash came crashing in hard. People weren't just mad about how he treated Jinxie, they were calling out something deeper. Viewers were saying Kai only started acting concerned after the criticism started piling up and it looked like his numbers might take a dip. That's when things started to crumble fast. Suddenly he's fumbling all over the place, and like even he realized just how bad the situation looked. And honestly, why did it even have to reach this point before he said something? The moment things got too real and the internet started flaming him from every direction, Kai did what most creators do when the pressure starts burning. He jumped straight into damage control mode. He hopped on stream trying to play it cool, acting like he suddenly cared and just wanted to clear things up. He claimed Jinxie switched up the stream plan out of nowhere, trying to make it sound like some shocking plot twist that blindsided him. He even hit that fake confused tone like, wait, we were supposed to play? Bro, everyone saw you ignore him live. That's not confusion, that's performance, and not even a convincing one. Viewers weren't buying it at all. The chat went wild with people saying the whole apology felt forced, and the expressions on his face gave it away. Then he doubled down saying, I don't lie, who said that? Like he had no idea how anyone could think otherwise. But come on, man, the receipts were literally on screen. He tried to flip the story pretending he was the one left out when everyone literally watched the whole thing unfold live.
No! I hate this! Yo! Yo, Tay, you don't understand how crazy this shit is. There's 100,000 people watching us right now. What the?
That clip doesn't lie, but let's be real. Nobody should be surprised by how it went down. Sure, Kai ended up apologizing, but don't get it twisted. That wasn't some deep emotional moment or a true act of accountability. It was pure survival mode.
Probably not fine-tuned now that I said it though.
No, hell no. I don't think SQC fell off. Fuck no. Hell no. SQC did not fall off. I'm just saying, nigga. This is how it may look.
Okay, respect that.
That wasn't even a sneak diss. I don't even try to do that. But I'm just saying, bro, like, don't.
I fell off.
Don't. What he got going on.
Fair enough.
You feel me? This is no diss. I'm not dissing nobody. I'm just saying how it looks on the outside perspective. You feel me? But like, I'm pretty sure Felix.
How am I on his? How is that anything related to him? I don't get it. Well, I'm just confused on how it's about him. I literally singled him out as like it's not part of the problem.
I'm about to just let shit rain. Like, I'm tired. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. All of that shit. All of that. Be honest. This is no bias. This is no nothing off aggression.
His chat was cooking him non-stop with L's, and every platform was dragging his name through the mud. The pressure backed him into a corner until he finally said something. Not out of guilt, but because silence was no longer an option. That so-called apology? Straight up PR cleanup. The classic quick patch update creators pull when the internet starts turning on them. You could practically hear the damage control alarms going off in the background. And let's be honest, if people hadn't gone that hard on him online, that apology would have never happened. It wasn't growth, it was strategy. A move to stop the bleeding before it got worse.
He's just raised over 8 million years of free water for people with his Team Water charity.
A mission to give 2 million people all around the world clean water.
And there's a lot of new people on the leaderboard, including Logan Paul, who had one of the most dominant performances at SummerSlam this weekend, if not the most dominant performance of all of WWE, and Queso, both of which dropped $100,000 to charity, to the Team Water charity. Trainwrecks, FaZe Banks, Logan Paul, and a couple of other people from the Aiden Ross livestream that promised to donate $2.3 million worth actually did. So those $2.3 million are almost there.
But the story doesn't stop there, because the next mess Kai got tangled in had nothing to do with gaming or streamer beef. This one hit on something way bigger, Mr. Beast's Clean Water Project. If you don't know, that's a massive global effort aimed at bringing clean, safe water to communities that desperately need it. And honestly, much respect to Mr. Beast and his whole team for making something like that happen. That's world-changing stuff right there. It was one of those rare times when the entire internet came together for something good. Creators everywhere were donating, spreading the word, using their platforms for a real cause instead of drama or clout. It was a golden opportunity to be part of something truly bigger than themselves, except, well, that's where the next storm starts brewing.
When the number is like that, it's just no good. Like, it's not, is that, and you compare some of these other guys, sometimes, yeah, it's what, like, it's just, it's up and it just doesn't add up. That's motion, brother. 37% validated viewer? Bro, 30% validated viewer? I mean, you have to be kidding me, right? Brother, that's less than 30%. Bro, that's 31% validation. Bro, 31% validation. That's not motion, that's counter motion.
Because before we even get into the chaos, you gotta understand just how huge this project really was. Mr. Beast and his crew had already raised enough money to provide over 8 million years worth of clean water for people who actually need it. 8 million years! That's the kind of impact that makes headlines. And somehow, Kai still found a way to end up in the middle of it. Let that sink in for a second. This wasn't just a flex, this was historic. Real lives were being changed. Entire communities getting clean water for the first time, all thanks to a YouTube-led project that exploded way beyond what anyone expected. It's insane, but in the best possible way. So when creators show up for something like this, it actually matters. And when they don't, oh, the internet notices immediately.
Somebody's doing something that's tampering. It doesn't matter. I'm not even saying who's doing it. I don't care. Somebody's doing something, and it's skewing and tampering. That's it. Nothing else. There's nothing about it. And when he says that, oh, I know he doesn't believe that. No, I absolutely believe that with my everything that I stand for. I do believe that, but that doesn't belittle them. It doesn't make them lesser. Bro, 2 months ago, I got botted for 3 days in a row. Am I evil ever? When I say, yo, I was even saying, it's like, yeah, I got botted today. I don't give a the 3 days of botting don't make me feel any lesser about my career. And if somebody said it, yo, dude.
That's where things started getting awkward. Dozens of creators, big names, mid-tier streamers, even small rising ones, had already pitched in donations to Team Water. Some dropped a few $1,000s, others threw in entire millions. The list was filled with support from all corners of the creator world, except when people went searching for Kai's name, nothing. Not a single dollar, not a shout out, not even a yo good cause post. Meanwhile, Aiden Ross and his community had already dropped over $500,000. And Aiden didn't stay quiet either. He went public, calling Kai out directly to step up and contribute. That's when things started to get really messy. Because this is the same Kai who's constantly showing off how much he's making. Every stream, every brand deal, the crazy sub counts, the gifted donations, all of it, right there for everyone to see. So when a cause comes around that's literally saving lives and he suddenly goes silent, yeah, that hit people differently. It wasn't just disappointing, it was straight up revealing. Fans started wondering what all that wealth even means if it never reaches beyond himself. If you're constantly bragging about the bag but can't spare a piece of it for something this important, then maybe it's time to rethink what success really stands for. And then came the wildest twist yet. Aiden Ross straight up said if Kai donated $400,000, he'd match it with another $400,000 out of his own pocket. Now say what you want about Aiden, he's no saint and no one's calling him a role model. The guy's had more than his fair share of wild moments, but this right here, you gotta give credit where it's due. No hesitation, no big performance, just pure action. I'll do it too if you step up. That's real. For all the chaos Aiden's caused online, when it came to doing something that actually helps people, he didn't even blink. Meanwhile, Kai, still completely missing from that donation list. Not a word, not a dime, not even a quick response. And oh man, the internet did not hold back this time. The reactions were ruthless. People were throwing shade, cracking jokes, and some of them hit a little too close to home. One viral comment had everyone talking. Kai Cenat has yet to build his $20,000 school in Nigeria, and you think he's gonna donate $400,000? That line had the entire timeline frozen because honestly, the math was making sense. If someone couldn't follow through on 20 grand, how's anyone supposed to believe he's suddenly ready to drop nearly $500,000 for charity? Then came another post that roasted him even harder. Kai Cenat when you ask him to spend millions on fireworks and damages versus when you ask him to donate to poor people. Followed by complete silence. That silence spoke volumes. People started comparing how fast he'll blow stacks of cash for chaos, content, and flashy stunts. But when it's time to help real communities or fund clean water, suddenly the energy disappears. The priorities were crystal clear, and the internet wasn't afraid to point it out. Kai's silence hit louder than any response could, and fans were left wondering if the generosity he brags about on stream only exists when the cameras are rolling. People were calling everything out with zero filter. Someone even brought up that moment when XQC and Kai were on stream flexing about who's richer, going band for band, trying to one-up each other live. The internet clapped back instantly with the perfect challenge. Let's settle it. Whoever donates the most to Team Water is officially the richest. That line hit hard. Mr. Beast probably never expected to witness a full-blown flex-off for charity, but honestly, it was poetic. Because nothing exposes fake flexing faster than a real cause that requires actual receipts. You want to prove your wealth? Cool. Drop it where it actually matters. No rented supercars, no borrowed chains, no staged luxury, just cold, hard proof. A donation receipt that speaks louder than any flashy stream moment ever could. But just when things started heating up, the story took a whole new twist. Out of nowhere, XQC went full detective mode on Kai's boys, Reggie and Rock. He started calling out some seriously sketchy stuff, especially those wild viewer numbers that just didn't add up. These guys supposedly went from a steady 1,000 viewers to suddenly pulling 60,000 overnight. Like, what? That kind of jump doesn't just appear out of thin air. I mean, let's be real. Those numbers were looking way too suspicious. XQC didn't hold back, saying what a lot of people were already thinking. Maybe there's some kind of view boosting happening behind the scenes. The internet started buzzing and the red flags were flying everywhere. Because in 2025, people have gotten way too creative with their tricks, and shady streaming moves pop up faster than ever. Whether it's bots, bot engagement, or sneaky algorithms, the streets were saying the same thing. Something about those stats just wasn't adding up. And once again, the drama around Kai's circle was starting to look real spooky. The moment big money gets involved, things start getting real suspicious. And here's the craziest part. That massive spike in views didn't build up over a week or even a couple days. It happened in one single day. One freaking day. That's not a normal glow up. That's like watching someone grow wings, shoot into the sky, and start doing backflips while everyone else is still struggling to light a match. And this isn't just random shade from XQC. He's not that type of guy when it comes to numbers. He's been watching trends for a long time, tracking patterns, view counts, and weird spikes that don't add up. When he started pointing out what was going on with Kai's crew, he had data to back it up. Now, to be fair, Kai's been trying to play the role of the loyal friend. He's been hyping up his boys like they're the next gaming legends, putting them in his streams, giving them exposure, even buying them a house. He's been building his crew like a full-on content squad, giving them chance after chance to shine. That's real love, but it's also what makes this situation even messier. Because when numbers suddenly explode like that, the internet always starts digging. Nobody's saying Kai or his team are intentionally doing something shady, but let's keep it real. When stuff stops making sense, people get curious. And right now, the only person actually doing the detective work is XQC. That whole "I blew up overnight because I'm just that talented" story? Yeah, people stopped buying that a long time ago. especially not in 2025 when everyone knows how easy it is to fake engagement and inflate stats. If you go from 1,000 to 60,000 viewers overnight like someone flipped a switch, the whole timeline's gonna start asking questions. Fast! And trust, XQC came ready with the receipts. He pulled out timestamps, view charts, and comparisons that had people staring at their screens like, wait, something's not adding up here. The inconsistencies were too loud to ignore, and suddenly what looked like a success story was starting to look a lot more suspicious. So XQC kept digging deeper into Reggie and Rockai's numbers, and what he found had everyone's eyebrows raised. These spikes were straight up wild. We're talking jumps from 1,000 to 8,000 to 60,000 all within 1 hour. That's not just a rise. That's a full-on roller coaster shooting straight into the clouds. Nobody sees growth like that overnight unless something strange is happening behind the scenes. Then came the biggest red flag, the chat activity. XQC noticed they had around a 20% engagement rate, which is ridiculously low for anyone claiming to have numbers that high. Because let's be real, what's the point of flexing 60,000 viewers if only a handful are actually saying anything in chat? That doesn't scream huge fan base, it screams something's off. The internet smelled the sketchiness instantly. That kind of ratio only pops up when someone's trying to fake it till they make it with some view bot trickery. If you don't know, view botting is when people use bots to pump up their viewer count, making it look like their stream is booming when, in reality, half those viewers aren't even real people. It's one of the oldest scams in the book, and yet it's still happening in 2025. And if that wasn't enough to raise alarms, XQC dropped more numbers that made 0 sense. Apparently, one of Kai's crew members, aka, had around 100 live viewers, which sounds fine, until you check and see he's sitting on 4,000 subs. Like, how does that even make sense? Someone online summed it up perfectly saying, the math ain't mathing. And honestly, they weren't wrong. Now, to keep it fair, when it comes to Kai himself, his numbers actually do line up. Say what you want about the controversies, but his stats make sense. If he's pulling 100,000 viewers, he's got the subs, engagement, and energy to match. That's what real viewership looks like. Real followers, real reactions, and genuine hype in the chat. Still, all this drama clearly got to him. Kai's been getting emotional on stream lately, and even though people are dragging him left and right, you gotta give him credit. That passion is real. When it came to going head-to-head with XQC on this whole situation, Kai didn't exactly come swinging with a strong argument. He kept firing back with lines like, "It looked like you dissing gang," but none of that actually addressed the view-botting accusations. And the funniest part? The claims weren't even aimed directly at him. They were about AKA. Instead of breaking down the numbers or clearing the air, Kai just started venting, talking about how every time something good happens for him or his crew, XQC has to throw shade. You could tell he was getting frustrated, and yeah, maybe he's tired of constantly being dragged online, but frustration doesn't change the facts. The numbers are still the numbers, and that data doesn't lie. And let's keep it 100. If you're sitting on a throne of 100,000 live viewers, and your boys are suddenly getting crazy exposure, of course you'd want to defend them. That part makes total sense. But you can't just wave your hands, get mad, and expect everyone to ignore what's right in front of them. The internet thrives on receipts, and right now, those stats are looking way off. XQC laid the entire situation out crystal clear. Timestamps, screenshots, and breakdowns. And the math wasn't adding up. When someone supposedly got 60,000 live viewers, but only 20% of the chat is active, that's not just a minor detail, that's a massive red flag. And no matter how much emotion you throw into it, feelings alone can't explain that away. Kai's out here playing full-time defense, but he's fumbling every single play. Every time Reggie or AKA get even a tiny bit of attention, XQC swoops right back in with another set of receipts showing more suspicious spikes. And honestly, you can't even be mad at XQC for it. At the end of the day, he's just calling out what everyone else was already whispering about. In a world where fake numbers and shady boosts are everywhere, someone's got to keep it real. And XQC seems more than ready to play that role. Kai keeps saying things like, XQC always got something negative to say whenever we win, but come on, that excuse is getting old. Calling out suspicious numbers isn't the same thing as being a hater. You can't just label someone a villain because they're pointing out patterns that don't make sense. What if XQC's just seeing patterns that actually exist? Think about it. If one of your boys suddenly jumped from barely getting views to superstar numbers overnight, with no visible grind or build-up, and the stats looked completely twisted, wouldn't you be side-eyeing it too? Anyone with common sense would be asking questions. But here comes Kai, flipping the whole thing and acting like XQC is out to destroy them. He's painting him as the bad guy for simply pointing out what everyone can already see on the screen. XQC's calling out things that don't add up, plain and simple. But Kai keeps twisting it, saying it's jealousy or an attempt to bring down his crew. Then to top it off, Kai slips into full-on knight in shining armor mode for Reggie and Rock Kai, defending them like they're the most innocent streamers on the platform. Don't get it wrong, loyalty's admirable, and Kai definitely rides for his people. But right now, that loyalty's starting to look a little too sweet considering all the messy data floating around. Maybe Reggie and Rakai didn't personally do anything shady, but let's be real, it's 2025. You really think nobody in the crew might be trying to juice numbers behind the scenes? Come on now! The streaming world's full of tricks, and pretending it's impossible doesn't make it go away. Instead of saying, hey, let's really look at these stats and clear things up, Kai jumped straight into, my friends would never mode, like that magically fixes everything. It doesn't. Loyalty's cool and all, but ignoring the math won't make those sketchy numbers disappear. The internet doesn't run on feelings, it runs on receipts, and those stats are still looking suspicious. That's some real ride or die energy from Kai, no doubt about it, but let's be honest, it's also naive. Loyalty doesn't erase numbers that make absolutely no sense. And of course, the internet wasted zero time turning the spotlight right back on him. One person even went viral saying, average Kai chimp out when being called out, always hooting and hollering when he's caught doing something wrong. That line set the timeline on fire, the comment section went wild. Then, as always, the defenders came crawling out of the shadows like self-appointed detectives, trying to solve a case nobody asked them to solve. Their favorite excuse? The classic crib meta. They claimed the wild viewer spikes were happening because all the streamers live together, chilling on camera, vibing, and sharing audiences like one big happy content house. Cute theory, but come on, that's not enough to explain what's going on here. Sure, when you've got multiple creators streaming under the same roof, there's gonna be some overlap and shared viewers. That's normal. But let's keep it real. That still doesn't explain someone jumping from 1,000 viewers to 60,000 overnight. Unless their house has a secret underground tunnel straight into the algorithm's headquarters, the math is still not mathing. It's looking suspicious no matter how you frame it. And XQC wasn't letting this one slide, not even a little. He doubled down like a man on a mission, fully ready to stand his ground on this hill. He didn't back off, not once. In fact, he couldn't even understand why Kai was so heated about it in the first place. From XQC's perspective, he was just analyzing the numbers like he always does. No hate, just facts. He made it clear that based on everything he's seen over the years, he genuinely believed someone was tampering with those viewership stats. Whether it was the streamers themselves, a few overzealous fans, or someone on the team pulling shady strings behind the scenes, XQC was convinced something fishy was happening. And honestly, a lot of people agreed with him. Because no matter how many times Kai spoke on stream, he still never gave a clean explanation about the whole ViewBot situation. He kept dodging, jumping around the topic, and getting defensive instead of just breaking it down clear for everyone to see. The longer he avoided it, the more suspicious it started to look, and the internet doesn't let that kind of mystery fade quietly. Meanwhile, the screenshots XQC dropped had everyone staring at Kai's crew like, yo, something's definitely not adding up here. XQC didn't go after random streamers. He called out Kai's own circle directly, and that's exactly what made the situation explode even harder. What's crazy is that XQC went on a whole monologue, breaking everything down in detail, and not once did he say anything that denied the view-boosting accusations. Not one single word. He even joked about people calling him obsessed, like he's some kind of weirdo for paying attention to the numbers. But honestly, you can't really blame him. He's just saying out loud what everyone else has been quietly thinking. Like he said himself, I don't get it. And to be real, nobody does. Meanwhile, Kai's been taking 2 massive L's back-to-back. First, he ghosted Jinxie's tournament, straight up ignored the guy live on stream, and then only acted sorry once his own chat started spamming L's non-stop. It didn't look genuine, it looked like damage control. Then, right when that storm finally started cooling off, here comes drama number 2, the whole Team Water situation. While creators everywhere were donating huge amounts of money to help out, Kai stayed completely quiet. Even Aiden Ross stepped up, offering to match a $400,000 donation if Kai would just contribute. And still, nothing. That silence hit harder than any tweet or apology ever could, especially coming from someone who never stops flexing how much he earns every stream. At this point, it's more than just bad optics. It's starting to look like a full-blown pattern. Kai only reacts when the backlash gets loud and the spotlight's on him. But when there's no clout, no benefit, no trending moment attached, he disappears. And people are finally starting to notice that energy and call it for what it is. So what do you think? Is Kai just misunderstood? Or are fans finally catching on to a side of him he can't hide anymore? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns, because this story, it's far from over.